I bid you welcome. I am a little goblin who likes to do makeup, and today we're going to do a cosplay look from the anime slash manga Soul Eater, complete with my own special effects twist and little stories about where I've been. So let's get into it. I've gotten my wig all secured up here, and we're ready to get started. If you've at all noticed my absence these past few weeks, first of all, thank you. Second of all, I went back to my home state for a little bit for a little rest and relaxation and a little bit of ink therapy. Got myself my 5th tattoo while I was down there. I have an artist, well, 2 artists that I like, but this one specifically has done more of my tattoos, so I will leave their little links down below as I think that they're fantastic. So, I'm gonna get back to what I was originally talking about here. I was just really excited about my new tattoo. Had to show that off a little bit there. And you know, nothing relaxes me more than the mosquitoes and spiders that live in the Appalachian Mountains. I grew up camping around the Warren area down there, and if I'm honest, whenever I find myself getting super stressed out about like work or life or anything, I'm just like, God, I need to go camping and I need to go swimming for a little bit and just be one with the goblin that lives inside of me. All right, I think I got enough. Not the fighter. Now, you didn't get to see this on camera, but what I did do to my skin before I placed this time, so I used a little bit of this Aquaphor ointment because if there's any hair under there, it will be caught. So just be wary if you are using liquid latex. Sorry, Bertram, I keep smacking you around. It's my first day back. I forgot all my manners already. Returning to that area just reminds me of being with my family, and it brings me a lot of peace being down there. And I may not have seen forests all over the world, but from the forests that I have seen, I must say that the Appalachian forest has the most like mythical and like menacing energy that I've been in. And I know how absolutely crazy that statement sounds. It's just like looking into the forest and seeing all the different types of trees and the moss and all the dead like trees and leaves on the ground just strewn about, just sort of all over the place. It kind of creates this like almost hauntingly beautiful scene in there, if that makes any sense. Those mountains are old, and those trees house more than just secrets up there. And to be honest with you, I am convinced that if there is any magic left in the world, that it would definitely be in forests like those. Like, the trees seem to move around behind your back and change paths, and the moss grows freely without reason, and it's almost like the birds talk behind your back whenever they think you're not listening, and it's just sort of like this magical place where you're not entirely sure if you're a visitor or trespasser, and I kind of like that. I think a lot of those forests kind of blur the lines between like mythical and menacing, and it creates kind of like this gray area. And I think a lot of those like cities and towns that surround those areas kind of create their own gray areas as well, whereas like they kind of blur the lines between a town full of history and rich roots and one that's kind of struggling to find its place among like a new age of satellites and circuits. Some of these towns that are around the Warren area have been around since like the 1800s. And despite what you may, and what I may think about these people that live out in the middle of nowhere, they definitely do their best to make sure that the history like remains intact as it is and like as it should be. Untouched. But they'll leave a lot of the buildings intact for the most part, the old historical buildings or old buildings that are built and like have some sort of history or story related to the town. It's fun for me to be able to go back and go to these places that I went to as a kid and to now be able to appreciate like the history and the beauty of nature. It just stinks because a lot of these places have like little to offer by way of like a lot of career fields to offer for people to move there, or even like places that could fund like, you know, the restoration of these old buildings or things of that nature to try and keep it more, I don't know, more visually pleasing or more historically accurate. But humans still persist as best they can, and nature out there does its best to reclaim where it can. I really enjoy that, especially if you know anything about rural Pennsylvania, then you know that oil refineries are pretty much everywhere out there. Nestled into the beautiful hills of Appalachia, these big stinky factories unfortunately just happen to be, well, not unfortunately, but I say that because they're stinky, but they are the lifeblood of a lot of these communities that are out here. And to be honest with you, I love to see these places where most of it will be still running, like it's still an active factory, but half of it has been like reclaimed by the ivy and the forest that stands behind it. Like some of the buildings back there just won't have half of a wall or something, and it's reclaimed with like a tree or whatever. I love to see it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's just like they're half in use, half eroded with time, and the forest is just like, give me back what's mine. I absolutely love it up there, and in my opinion, all of the spider and mosquito bites in the world are worth views like that and hanging out with trees as old as those. And I bring that up because apparently I have entered into some sort of unspoken agreement with the spiders out at camp because apparently it is okay for them to bite me so long as I don't see them or I'm asleep. Which it sounds worse than it actually is, in all honesty. If it were a spider of sorts that I would have to be worried about that were crawling onto me in my sleep, I would already be dead, or I would have a massive thing growing on me, in which case that is a bigger cause for concern here. Oh my, what a horrible turn that this video seems to have taken. I apologize for any visuals that may have given anybody during this little video here. But I suppose, you know, I'm cosplaying as Lady Arachne, so you know, talking about spiders and spider bites just kind of comes with it. So be warned, I guess. The mysticism or whatever I'm going to call it about those mountains hasn't been lost on me at all since I've gotten older, and if anything, it's only gotten stronger as I'm older now and I can go down like more advanced hiking trails, venture into like areas that like maybe are a little bit more on the untraveled route, you know what I mean? And I just, there's nothing beats being in like the Kinzu area, at least in my mind. I've also been to Tracy Ridge quite a few times growing up in that area, and I absolutely love it. Being able to climb on all the rocks and peer into the little caves that they make when they form together. It's just two giant, like, big boulders smashed up against each other, and somebody put stairs and a railing going down them. Oh, I love and hate it at the same time, if I'm being honest. And when I was a kid, I wouldn't even go near them. I was convinced that like I was gonna be crushed in between there, and that was gonna be it, trapped forever, smashed up against like my sister or something like that. At the time, it would have been gross. At this point, I really wouldn't mind. I'm trying to think. We also used to. Oh, sorry, I'm doing that thing again where I hide. We also used to go to the Cook's Forest area occasionally for camping and cookouts, hiking, and things of that nature. But if you know of any good spots for that sort of thing, or spots with really good history in it around the Pennsylvania area, anywhere, I'm willing to go anywhere in PA because I just love that stuff. Especially history from like my state, and it doesn't have to be like conventional history. I am very much into like cryptids and things of that nature. Maybe I'll find like a squonk breeding ground or something. I'll leave a little picture of the cute little guy over there. He's from PA. And I do have scripts saved for like cryptid things and stuff, like investigations about local folklore. Yes, all the forks. Local folklore about the area I'm from, the area I'm staying at now, and things of that nature. I just haven't had a good time to like sit down and do editing on it, and I don't want to just sit here for like 6 hours and do a bunch of takes as I spew through all of my random information. And to be honest with you, a lot of the time I'm really annoying, and I'll just like draw a little picture or something and put a word there, and I'm like, what is that? Like, future you is here. What is that? We're trying to like do things and put together a, cohesive, comprehensible video here, and you're over here just like, ah, yes, picture of snake. She'll know exactly what I mean. I don't. You insane person. I'm really glad that I took the time to, I know you can't really tell on there much, but I am really glad that I ordered this little spider prosthetic here off of Etsy. At some point, I'd really like to learn how to make my own, as they seem... It looks simple, but I'm sure that it is a super complicated process to make little, I think they're made out of little liquid latex, but I'm not entirely sure. Proves how much I know already. But I will leave a little link down in the description below of the shop where I got the little spider prosthetic from. Maybe once I start trying to learn how to make them, I'll post my process or something like that. I can't wait to get my hair down and everything all done up. Right now I kind of look like I'm trying to do a Bride of Frankenstein. And it reminds me that I will have to save this wig as it is so that I can do one. But as far as it goes for our Lady Arachne cosplay here, I am going to finish up on some of these little minor details here and some shading on my little prosthetic. You can kind of tell down there a little bit. Finish these up. Go ahead and get my little spiderling legs and stuff put on here, and I'll be back with the final look. I hope you enjoyed my little ramblings about mystical, magical Warren, Pennsylvania. I have a couple videos planned about like some of the people from history from around that area, so you have that to look forward to as well. For now, I'm going to go off and finish these details, and we'll be back here after a bit. And this is the final look for my Lady Arachne cosplay. I'm very happy with how this one turned out, especially with the special effects prosthetic down here, just adding my own little personal touch to it. I've got a big old Halloween spider on my back for her legs. I've been working on my hair etiquette here, so this looks more like an updo instead of just a mangled mesh of hair, which is always a plus in my opinion. I've got a little thrifted spider necklace on here, and my long dress with some big old sleeves instead of her scarf or whatever it is. I think that has like little paws on it. But boots and stuff don't really matter, as a lot of the photos I'm going to be taking today are going to be for the upper body region here, and it feels really good to be back home after a nice restful vacation in the mythical Appalachian Mountains. Thank you for letting me ramble on about the special places that I have back home, as it means a lot to me. And I'm sure that since we're gearing up for the harvest season here, I'll have many more spooky looks coming out. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. like, comment, do all the things. But the most important things, stay well, stay hydrated, stay chaotic.